My name is Victor Ugo. I've been diagnosed with moderate to severe depression.
My name is Wairimu Gitonga. I'm Kenyan.
My name's Nadia Hussein and I suffer with panic disorder.
Andrew.
My name's Matthew Williams and I've struggled with depression.
My name is Samuel Masharia Joroge.
My name is Sanjana Krishnan and I live with bipolar disorder and borderline personality.
I'm Glenn Close and I'm supporting Time to Change. Mental health issues affect millions of us across the world. Sadly, in almost every country, people are being mistreated and misunderstood. We can be excluded by families, friends, neighbors, employers, and schools due to the negative stigma that still haunts mental health.
You cannot get a job, even within family level. There are decisions that are never taken seriously because they're associated with a malfunction kind of a thinking. So one is excluded from the mainstream family life and the society in general.
I was at my worst when I had nobody to talk to. Or I was told that it was all in my head, or that it's just who I am, or it's my hormones. Every time that line of communication got closed, it just made things worse.
My mother has simply ignored it completely. We don't talk about it.
I suffered bipolar when I was in the university. At the time, given a criminal type of punishment, because they thought that I was a criminal and I was not sick.
There is that thing as a man, that pervasive, I guess, sense that links it with weakness and you should be able to cope.
Almost 1 in 4 of us will experience a mental health problem. Mental health problems know no boundaries. It affects all ages, all income groups, and all cultures. If you don't struggle yourself, then someone you care about probably does.
My whole life, I felt like it was just me. I was the only person who was suffering. And then I realized there are hundreds and thousands of people who suffer the same thing. That for me was the biggest therapy, was to actually realize that I'm not on my own.
Stigma and discrimination are so deeply ingrained, they damage the priority placed on mental health. Around the world, mental health is seen as the poor relation to physical health.
You know, there's all these associated things around mental health where it's just not on a same footing with physical health, and I think it all plays into this idea that it's somehow your fault.
What this results in is lack of treatment for mental illness, lack of awareness about mental illness, lack of acceptance that someone is going through a mental illness.
The good news is we can transform societies by shifting stigma and tackling discrimination. The most effective approach is when those of us with experience of mental health problems start talking more openly.
So I can say that change began with my family members first.
We are going to change the culture, and we are seeing a change in the climate because the discussion is improving. Discussions are increasing, especially among young people.
Now I see with all the stories for Time to Change that those stories are how we change hearts and minds.
In India, we're only going to begin combating the stigma against mental health if we start having an honest conversation about it.
Let's start a new global conversation about mental health that takes root in all of our communities, so that wherever you live in the world, there isn't any shame attached to mental health. If we achieve this and put mental health on an equal footing to physical health, and why wouldn't you? Our world would be a much better, fairer, healthier, productive, and happier place. It's time to talk about mental health.